Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Open Great League, and let's see what team we're going to be trying out. We got the Galarian Weezing paired with the Shadow Lapras with the Cradily in the back. So two safe swaps that are pretty interesting for the Open Great League right now. We get met with a Shadow Drapion, so we are going to just let this go. We do survive it, and we are able to get to another Rock Tomb here. So we end up getting 2 shields for the switch. That's a really good trade-off. And now we're going to go into our Weezing, hoping that we can tank all these moves, number one, but also catch a move. Nope, we actually catch the crunch. So it was debuff, but not exactly what we wanted. We have to shield this Mana Buzz because we want to get to this Skull Bash. So Skull Bash dealing roughly 25%, 30% right there. We get the okay, our opponent does get to another move. We're just gonna let it go. It ends up only being the aerial ace, so it allows us to survive, and then we quick swap out of there. Our opponent has a lot of energy here, and they look for the debuff. We are able to farm down. They still have the Mana Buzz. Mana Buzz decides to come back in. We're gonna fire off this sludge. Doesn't quite KO, but the next one will. What do we think is in the back here? Okay, ends up being the Dugong, and unfortunately, this Dugong has our whole team pretty low health, and GG's to our opponents, unable to win that game with our backline. They had a really tanky team, honestly. Mana Buzz, pretty good tank. Dugong, pretty good tank. All right, we got the Weezing versus the Azu here. We are going to have super effective Sludge. The Sludge does deal a good amount of damage here. So that means that we're just going to tank this, and we can get to the next Sludge on good timing. This is going to get the KO or the shield. They decided to let it go. And now we see the Skeletors. Once we reveal Lapras, they go into their Ferrothorn. We do get a move off, and it does roughly 40%. They are able to take us out easily because they are a shadow. And then we're just going to make sure we throw in good timing here. We're going to fire off a sludge to try to get to this brutal swing here. I believe we need to get to 2 moves anyway, so I think that was okay. Shadow Ball gets shielded, and we are in a better spot now because now we get to this Rock Tomb, which grabs the shield and he gets the debuff. Do we think we shield here? We decided to shield it, and now we have the shields down. Rock Tomb takes them out. They combo play into their Ferrothorn. Power Whip easily takes us out there, but unfortunately they are not going to be able to outpace us to the Rock Tomb. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Cradily in the back. Luckily, we were able to deal enough damage with our Weezing to get that Ferrothorn low enough. All right, pretty decent lead here. We were resisting their fast moves. They try to catch the move, and they do a good job. Sludge onto their Digger Speed is not ideal, and now we have to... okay, they're just going to throw Fire Punches. We are going to be able to get to this Grass Knot here. Would have done a significant amount of damage, but I don't think it would have KO'd. And we're just going to keep on building. We're going to tank this move here. Ends up being the Scorching Sand. We avoid the debuff, so we're going to be able to fire off this Grass Knot, easily take it out from that range. And now we have another move for this Jump Up. Jump Up ends up tanking the move, getting a good amount of energy. We were almost at another move, but they were able to throw the move, and now we have Blastoise versus our 2 shield Lapras. Let's see if we can win this game here. The Psy Waves are pretty much all of our damage. We go for the Skull Bash, and we do grab the shield, but it allows them to spam all these attacks now. We are just going to let all of this go because they need to get to another move. They combo play into their Jump Up. Aerial Ace is used, and we're going to combo play into our own Weezing here to take out their Jump Up. They need to get to 2 Hydro Cannons. We fire off the Brutal Swing, gets them low enough that we should be able to farm down. Like I said, they need to get to 2 Hydros to take out this Weezing, but they're not going to be able to do that. So, well played by us. On to the next game. GG's to our opponent. So, The main core, as you might already noticed, is going to be the Blastoise and this Weezing. Sorry, not the Blastoise, the Lapras, excuse me. The Weezing kind of protecting the grass and fighting weaknesses. And you can see we are able to catch a move. Ends up being the Weather Ball, so that was a nice little catch right there. But we get met with a Jellicent. So Jellicent able to resist all of our charge moves, but you can see these side waves are actually adding up, which is actually pretty wild considering the side waves are only neutral. And then you can see we are going to try to snipe them, but they are going to be able to get to this Surf. We tank it. They get to a move. This Ninetales here. Okay. So that was a pretty good shield, forcing our opponent to use energy with their Swampert. Swampert is able to take us out right there. Unfortunately, we miscounted, I guess, and let them get to another Hydro. We go for this Brutal Swing, ends up getting that shield. We're going to go for another Brutal Swing. And then we're going to combo play immediately into the Lapras, and we are going to be able to get to this Sparkling for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with our Lapras and Weezing combo. All right, we got the Weezing versus the Jumpluff, the Drifblim, excuse me, and we are going to be able to get to this Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing does go through, but it doesn't KO. We get to another Brutal Swing, and it does finally get the shield. Potential Shadow Ball, so we decided shield ends up being the Shadow Ball, so that's pretty good for us. We are going to get to this Brutal Swing to take out this. Okay, they actually go into their Poliwrath here. This is going to be quite interesting. And it's Power Up Punch. Oh boy. Skull Bash is shielded, and now they have a good amount of momentum. We are going to have to think about shielding here. We do shield, ends up being the Icy Wind debuff. We're going to fire off this Sludge. We need to get rid of that thing, and we do. And now we have the Bastiodon to deal with. Bastiodon, pretty tanky, as you might know, but it is not going to one-hit KO from this range. Still in the green. We can survive this. Now it just comes down to, can we get it KO'd with these Grass Knots? This will not KO, but they're so low. We are going to try to go for the farm, but unfortunately unable to, and they are able to win that game. So well played by them. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.